Welcome everybody, François Le Tarte, D30, a channel about tabletop role-playing games. So this will be a ramble. I want to answer some sort of a question. I've already answered in a comment, but I want to develop on the screen. Someone gave me a comment in my last video, and you know, the answer is not tied to the subject of the last video. It's something else. I don't remember your name, sorry, but the person asked me why I wasn't using Advanced Fighting Fantasy into my RPGS project, RPGS Supersetting project. Because he's someone who has followed me for a couple of years, and yeah, for those of you who know me for a couple of years, you can remember that I talked a lot about this game system, Advanced Fighting Fantasy, as being my favorite game system, one of my favorite of all time, and it still is, okay? But why I'm not using it for RPGS? The experience I had so far with Advanced Fighting Fantasy showed me that this game was pretty much tied to the setting, okay? The Titan setting, which is the setting where the fighting fantasy game books are taking place. There's a feel about this, okay? When I discovered Advanced Fighting Fantasy, what I was very fond of, what made me very happy about this game system, was the fact that it brought those fighting fantasy game books feel, okay? It was the type of a fantasy role-playing game I was searching for, exactly, okay? It really plucked the right string for me. And yeah, so if I want to run something with that feel, that is the game I want. RPGS, the Supersetting, well, no, it's not the same feel I want to have. I did want to try something else. Of course, I could have tweaked the game system. You know, Advanced Fighting Fantasy is a very simple game system that could be adapted. It would be about changing the magic, how the magic works, that could help feels, okay, like the setting you're using. That could be it, but no, I feel that the game is really made for the Titan setting, and I'm not the kind of guy who wants to homebrew the stuff to a point, you know. Advanced Fighting Fantasy, they did a great job into making that game system to represent the feel of those fighting fantasy game books. And I will come back to it, and I will be annoying on the screen talking to you about how happy I am to run it. But that's not the case right now. And it's one of the reasons why you don't hear me talk much about Advanced Fighting Fantasy these times around. It's because I'm into something else. I'm really hyped into another project. Well, even though Advanced Fighting Fantasy is more tied to its setting, they did a great job with the science fiction version of it, with Stellar Adventures, where I feel that I can do a very wide range of different science fiction, space opera type of adventure. And probably if I do a campaign using the RPGS 2, which takes place in space, I probably will use a Stellar Adventure. Yeah. In that place, I will please myself with the game system. But yeah, so no, I didn't want to have that Advanced Fighting Fantasy feel to the present RPGS game. I did some one-shots before using different game system, which was part of the experiment I wanted to do. But right now the experiment has changed. You know, it's a campaign with one game system and going through all the remaining kingdoms I haven't visited into that book, RPGS Supersetting. And my own little survey and search throughout some of the games I was looking forward to try in my life ended up that True 20 was the game system I wanted to use, and it feels very well. It fits very well the type of game I'm running right now. I'm very enjoying it. I'm very happy that I will get through this game, True 20. I will really dig the game system and, you know, have an understanding of it, and I will be very proud of that. Okay, I don't know how many sessions we will take to do this. There will be an end at some point, but yeah, when I will be done with the French part of this experiment, which I'm in right now, I will do it in English. Yeah, I decided to go through all, you know, to get to the end of what the promise I made to myself. And RPGS will be played. Every Kingdoms will have been played by someone, and it will be me. So every person that worked on that book would say, yeah, at some point the little kingdom I have created for that project was used by, you know, someone. It says some adventures took place there. Yeah, and True 20 will be the game system. So that is the right choice. I'm very enjoying it. I don't know if in the future, after this experiment, will I ever come back to True 20? I don't know. There's many games I want to try, even if Advanced Fighting Fantasy, I will come back to it and be annoying on screen talking to you about this game and how happy I am to run it. But there are other game systems that I want to try. You know, I don't want to be stuck to one game system. I have preferences, but Advanced Fighting Fantasy, in my open opinion, is really there to make adventures into the Titan setting. This is just my sweet spot. You know, it could be, you know, if someone wants to run Middle-earth using Advanced Fighting Fantasy, you know, it could be done. Okay, you can run you can go with Forgotten Realms using Advanced Fighting Fantasy if you want. There's, you know, everything is there. You know, the monster book is so well detailed that you could import any monsters from Forgotten Realms into, let's say, the Fighting Fantasy system. All the races are there. Okay, you could, but no. That game is there to emulate the feel that I had when I was a 12-year-old young boy with his Fighting Fantasy game books, wondering if he would survive the challenges there. And when I run Advanced Fighting Fantasy, I try to emulate that. I want to emulate that tension you find in those books. Okay, will you survive the poison? Will you test your luck? If you're unlucky, well, sorry. Okay, that's the kind of feel. Okay, this is very grognard. And yeah, I don't want to be grognard in RPGS. I want it to be a little more cinematic, a little more heroic. But Advanced Fighting Fantasy is made for that type of game. Okay, kind of very old schoolish, you know, Dungeons and Dragons. Before, you know, from 1974 through 78, but with another game system. I want to have that feel. That's the game I will use. That's one of my top games, still is today. Very enjoying reading the books and flipping through the nasty monsters you find into that. Yeah, but I won't go farther into my love of Advanced Fighting Fantasy with you guys. But I've answered the question. Sometimes, well, when I run a setting, you know, I really want to have the game system that will emulate what I'm trying to achieve with the campaign. And True 20 was the right choice. It's not a perfect game system. Some of the stuff made me but there's no perfect game system, by the way. But even the imperfections in that, I can handle them. I can make them flourish into flavorful ideas, and, you know, make the story go forward simply. So True 20 is a great game system, by the way. François Letarte, JDR D30, and up to next time, I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games. Goodbye.